he's getting it now.
Hey everyone, welcome to Heavy Metal Customs. As you can see behind me here, the 1977 Toyota Celica GT did not go home. It stayed with us. The owner and I come to an agreement on getting this thing painted. Now, this is not a show quality, I'm taking it to Meekums and going to sell it for a gazillion dollar job. This is a driver car. He really iterated that to me. And as far as all the small dings and dents, he doesn't want to even worry about them. Just throw a good looking paint job on it, something that makes it look good going down the road. That's all he's concerned with. He actually wants to use this car as a little everyday driver and not be afraid to get a ding or a scratch on it. And I can relate to that. But we are going to do some extreme sanding on this car, and I'll take you over here and I'll explain to you why we're going to go this far on a budget job. Yeah, we'll start here at the hood. See these spots right here? That is really rough. So, and this is my opinion, and probably the only way that I'll do one, because I'm just that picky. If you was just take the DA and try to hit these and feather it all out, in my opinion, it would show through the paint. So I'm actually going to strip the whole car. And seeing as Lord knows how old this paint is, like say got a rust bubble right there, I don't know if this car has ever been repainted. This may be the factory paint from 1977. And there again, is it compatible with the sealer, primer, and paint that I'm going to put on it? Who knows? So, better safe than sorry. Let's say this car is in a great shape for the year, and considering it come from up north. But all of this business like that, yeah, that's going to go. We'll just take her all down to metal, and we will be taking the rear glass out, as well as the windshield. And main reason for that, for one, to get a good paint job on it, even though I know this is a budget paint job, still. I want to get the glass out of it and get in here and look real close and make sure that the lip ain't rusted out or anything, or any issues like that. And if it is, I will go ahead and repair them before we get to doing any other thing on it. But yeah, that's why I'm going to strip the car plumb down to metal. I think it will be a much better job and the proper way to do it, and all the new products I put on here will last and adhere properly. So, first things first, just a crap load of sanding. So I can get this whole thing stripped down, and then we'll pull the pressure washer over here. That's why I'm glad I have it in the third bay. I can wash it right here, and we'll get down here in the engine bay and stuff. I've already taken the wiring harness out of the car as far as the engine bay, and I'll wrap this engine up as tight as I can and really get that paint down in here. And I know I keep repeating this, even though this is a budget low-cost paint job, I still want to do a good job on it and make it look nice. If you're going to do it, you know, try to do it right and do a good job at it. But yeah, we'll get this thing sanded down, and we're going to go through all the steps on it. We'll get it sanded, we'll get it cleaned really well. Then we'll go in here with some sealer. We'll seal the whole car, and then we'll put on 2 or 3 good coats of the high build primer, block it all out. Then we can start laying some paint and clear on it. And as far as the paint goes, he picked, it's like he picked a midnight green, like a 2020 Camaro. And I looked around and I found some paints and stuff, and I found another color. It was it's like a dark emerald green metallic. And I showed him that, and he really liked it. So I think that's what we're going to go with. With all black interior and black accents, I think that dark emerald green is going to be really, really sharp in this little car. But there we got it. Enough yapping. I've got to get to sanding. Well, we're getting there. Yeah, I'm using the big drum. This thing, man, this is going to take some time. But the reason I'm doing this, see the spots right there? That's them rust spots. We got pits and things like that. So, it's another reason why I wanted to get it all stripped down. And what I'm doing, I'm taking them rust spots after I get everything sanded, and I'm taking a wire brush on my drill to them. Really getting down in there and getting that cleaned out. So we'll be, when we lay the sealer on there, we will be heavy with the sealer, and we will be heavy with the high build primer, that's for sure. But I mean, she's getting there. It's just going to be a lot to do. And like I say, I didn't expect them rust spots, you know, to be so pitted. So that's going to add a lot of extra time to getting them cleaned out and extra primer. But it'll be worth it in the end. Because I'm telling you, if you don't take care of them and work them out and put some extra primer on there and block it, that will show through on your paint and look like crap. But hey, we're getting it. Oh, here's something you don't see every day. See the brass? Yeah, that's where they join the roof panels on. And you see the one right there. Yeah, that's pretty cool because you don't see that no more. I know American cars back in the day, they used lead on them. And this is 77, so apparently Toyota, they liked brass. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright guys, well it's Saturday. I'm going to call it a week, and we'll be back out here Monday. Let the little old bower cool down, and we'll get back to stripping this thing. Well, the sand is coming along great. Yeah, that thing works out fantastic. Got the hood, got the roof, got a lot of the stuff on the side so far. What we're going to end up doing is moving it over to the first lift so that I can pick it up some and it's easier for me to sand. I can't sit on a stool and work like a lot of people. But yeah, I got this, got the back of this hatch all done up. But we're going to take a break from sanding because as you can see, yeah ma'am, we have a spoiler. And what we're going to do is get the spoiler figured out, because being a fiberglass spoiler, you know one thing about it, it's not going to fit. You got to do some trimming, you got to do this and that. We even have side pieces for it. That's usually where the problem comes in with the side pieces. But first things first, no yeah, I got this done. Got that all drilled out and conformed to where that lock will sit in there like it's supposed to. And I went ahead and just set it in there so I can make sure that this hole goes around it. But yeah, let's go ahead and work on this spoiler and see if we can get it going on. We're going to do it where we run screws through to hold it. And then after we get everything sealed, then we'll do some fiberglass, screw it down, and blend it in like I did on that Mustang spoiler that I've done. But I'll show all of y'all that. But let me put the camera on a stand, and we'll get to working this spoiler out. Alright, first things first. I've already tried this and I know it doesn't fit that great. Let's get our little marker. Get right on the edges. I mean right on the edges. Okay, that's going to sit like that. It's rocking a little bit, so we'll take some out of that curve on that piece. Let's see what this one. Sort of the same on this side as well. Not much. You can do this pretty much any way you want to, guys. I've got the little sanding pad here. We'll see if this works. If not, we'll go with something a little more grit to it. But this stuff is not that thick, as you can see. I think it's going to work. That, we don't take too much on, right? Yeah, plenty of room for that. Yeah, that's a much better fit right there. Not looking too bad, guys. That's the only bad thing about this aftermarket fiberglass stuff. None of it. It's worth a flip. You really have to work it. Right there on the edge. Yes, green tape holds everything in my opinion. Yeah, that's not looking too terrible. It's pretty much where we want it. I'll pop the flap off of there. Now that's pretty much what that's going to be. So, trying to get us some screws and get that thing screwed down and set in there. But here's our little corner piece, and this will be the next major issue. Hopefully y'all can see well. You know the spoiler's going to go there. That's where it fits. The top part here. And then our side, of course, goes like this. Well, as you can see, how far that is off. And yes, I do have the lid spaced up where it's even with the bottom. This is going to be a lot of contouring and trimming on this to get it to fit. Now we may be able to bring this down just a little bit. I'm going to see if we can. That would help out the situation a lot, actually. Now let's see if it gets just a little bit closer. Yeah, I think I just lined up a lot better right there. So that's less stuff we're going to deal with as far as grinding, trying to make it fit. But I know y'all can't see it well. Okay, that lines up like that. That pretty much, yeah, sort of lines up right there. And see if there's a gap right there. I don't like that, but it is what it is. But if you'll come around front here, yes, y'all can see that. we got a finger gap under here. This, like I say, is the kind of stuff that you have to deal with though. But it is what it is, and that's why we do what we do. Because on stuff like this, you really got to get in there with it and form this stuff to fit. If you think you're going to buy some of this fiberglass stuff, put it on your car, throw some double sticky tape on it or a couple of screws and it's going to fit okay. No, it is not. You really have to work this stuff. So what I'm going to do next off camera, I'm going to go ahead and get some screws in here. And don't worry, later on, once we go to fiberglass this thing in, we'll let it set them screws just a shade, enough that we can get glass over them and you don't see them. But I want a fiberglass and screws. That way I got a chemical and a mechanical connection on these things, so they will never go anywhere. I don't care how fast he takes this thing. Besides an accident, they'll always be on the car and we'll never have no issues. But let me get these screwed down and then we can start on our little side pieces and see what we can do to make them fit. And there's the quick of it. Well, I got this thing to fit, guys. Of course, you got to go in there and start grinding. And you grind the insides down in here to get everything to sit down right. I'll tell you what, this little belt sander right here is the bomb for doing that. And if you need to get some little round corners, that thing works well. But it did not take a ton to get this there. It's not too bad at all. I mean, for fiberglass pieces, that fits pretty good. Of course, when we get the sealer on everything and go to permanently put them on, we'll use some different screws that'll be more flush down in there. But when you're setting stuff up like that, man, it's hard to beat them self-tappers. I mean, I've got this thing right here and just zap them in there quick and easy, and it works well. But yeah, that's the main of it. Like I say, after sealing, just a lot of fiberglass work to get that thing molded in there to make it look like it's part of the car itself. But yeah, I'm glad he got that. Let's say it's a little extra work, which I don't mind doing, but it just really gives the little car a much more sportier look back there. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, guess what? Get to go back to sanding. Well, guys, I mean, it is coming along. But the good news is, so far, we haven't run across any body filler or bad patches or anything. Casey come by, everybody say, hey, Casey. He starts a new job, what'd you say, Monday? Sunday. All right, so he come by and gonna lend me a hand, help me with all this sanding. But yeah, he likes this quarter in that door and got the side over here done, but did find some previous Bondo work. This is the stuff that I done, but I did not do this. That's why I've got the DA over here going at it. When I get it all sanded down and smoothed out from a previous repair. And as far as the door goes, no Bondo. Yeah, man. That's DeLorean quality shine right there, by God. Yeah, but so far so good. I'm just going to keep on with the DA here. I got to get this down and feather all this into my body work that I done. And then I'll get this all feathered in, which that's under, wow. I swear this is factory paint, but I don't know why there'd be Bondo there, unless somebody done a repair and matched it or something. But yeah, that's the point of where we're at. So far so good. Got all the glass out, did not break any, so that's a plus. But yeah, we're going to keep on keeping on. All right, finally, pretty much all the car is sanded down. The only thing I got to do, and I got a hand sand, is like all the little grooves and stuff in here, inside the doors and whatnot. And that won't be too terrible. It'll be time consuming, but not too terrible. And I'm going to block that back out as well. But next thing I really need to do is run over the whole car with the DA and get some of these big sanding marks and stuff out of it. But before I do that, there's some issues that I'm just going to tend to. I know the owner said no more body work, don't even worry about it. But there's a couple of parts, couple of spots, I can't even talk, that I am going to hit. Stuff like this here. There had to be some filler there from the factory. That is really rough looking. So we're just going to mix up some icing. Go over that with some icing. Hit that spot again with some icing because we accidentally hit it with the big sander. The rest of the car is looking pretty good. Of course, this side we'll do the same thing. We'll icing this section here. Now here, where we had that previous body work, it doesn't look too bad. There's some pinholes here, here, some through there, and a shade of a spot there. Go ahead and get us some icing there. But I believe that's it. We'll just hit them, what was that, like 4 spots or something like that. And I think everything will be fine. Still got a little hand sanding to do around here. Got this window track pretty much cleaned out. Let's come back with some alcohol or something. That old black tar stuff is just, oh man, about impossible to deal with. But we'll just have to deal with it. Not going to do anything to the hood. I'm hoping that the sealer primer will take care of these spots. But yeah, these other ones, let's go ahead and get some icing on it and let that be drying and setting up. And then we'll just move to just some basic sanding. Well, alright. Sanding's done. Yeah, that was a lot of sanding, guys. But everything's sanded. Actually, I finished the sanding yesterday morning. And what spots I had, went in and done the rust treatment. I mean, around the windows looked really good. There's a couple of spots that, you know, maybe bubble throughs after the paint. And that's why I went ahead and done this. When he got the rust treatment on there, over that wheel well right there. A couple other little spots that I thought I would just hit. I mean, it's just going to make everything last longer, no doubt about that. But I'm really happy with the way the car all sanded out. And, I mean, she's looking good. There again, I know y'all are seeing dings and dents all over the place. He said, don't worry about it. So it's his car, so we're not worried about it. Oh, here comes the rain. Yeah, it's supposed to come a big major storm today. I need to get the hood over here, or the hatch. I've done got the hood. There was a lot of issues on it, as you can see, that I had to hit with the rust treatment. But we got it taken care of. And of course, got our spoilers. We're just going to give them a light scuff when we wash everything. But yeah, and what we're going to do, I've got the pressure washer out. Yeah, I'm going to have to wash it inside. Can't take it outside in the storm. And I've got my fresh orange rag, and also have a piece of Scotch-Brite that I'll be using. Scotch-Brite will be mainly for like through here, under hood, and things like that, and where I put the rust treatment. Once you have rust treatment, you can prime, paint over it. It's cool. Shouldn't give you no issues whatsoever. But yeah, let me quit yapping and crank up a little pressure washer and get this thing washed. We'll let it dry today. Then hopefully tomorrow we can get it over in the booth and get some sealer on it. Got her done. All washed up. Washed it twice and went over the Windex and give it a good wipe down. Yeah, I even got everything in here, but pretty clean, man. Yeah, that should all hold sealer, primer, and paint really well in there and look really good. But make sure I get that dash taped up really well. But yeah, car don't look too bad. I've already taken the hood and the hatch. They're hanging up in the paint booth. The car itself, well, honestly, right now I just can't move it by myself. So it can sit here and dry, which it needs to, get all the floorboard dry and everything. I wiped it down the best I could on the inside. The rest of it just have to dry naturally. But yeah, as soon as I can grab somebody to help me push it out, push it over there in the paint booth, and then tomorrow, if the plans go to plans, we should be able to wipe this thing down one more time, get that dash and everything taped up, shifter, e-brake, stuff we don't want no overspray on. And finally, get our sealer on there. Heck yeah. Well, got it moved over into the paint booth. My buddy Hootie Hoo come by this morning, and truth be known, he done the majority of the pushing. But we did get it in here. We got the spoiler pieces sitting here. They're ready for sealer, and the hood, and the hatch. What I got to do now, guys, is run through here and do some tape up. Get these stickers on the hood taped up, get the VIN tag taped up, get the dash done. I think I've gotten everything under the hood pretty good taped up. They shouldn't get a sealer or any kind of paint on it. Yeah, I'll make sure I get that dash, steering wheel real good, shifter, and the e-brake. But let me do that sort of right quick. Won't be right quick, it'll be time consuming, but I will get that done, and then we'll wipe her down one more time with some Windex. After that, we'll let her dry a little bit. We should put us probably a little after lunch, and hopefully we can get some sealer shot on this thing today. Alright, she's ready for sealer. Got everything taped up, wheel covers on. Yeah, plastic wrap. Hey man, you use what you got, right? Plastic bags. As long as it keeps it from getting paint on it, then you're doing a good job. But yeah, let's get her all wrapped up, guys. Let me get some sealer mixed up, and we'll get these parts shot. Well guys, we got a shot with the sealer. Got pretty good over here in the engine bay too. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that shoot. A little bit of ruin right there, big deal. But yeah, the sealer turned out pretty good. Gives you an idea what this color would look like if it was hot rod black. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. But now what I'm going to do, guys, and this is just a money and time saver. Instead of untaping all of this, pulling it back out, then working the spoilers in and all of that. Because I'll tell you, it takes some time. Not a lot of time to tape up something little like them stickers right there. But you get into taping up this dash and all of that, yeah, that was time consuming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe the car down, and I'm going to go ahead and mix up my high build primer. And I'm going to go ahead and lay me 2 or 3 good coats on here. But I will stop at a certain point here on the rear where the spoiler is going to go on. If I go a little bit over, no big deal. I can sand it down and do my fiberglass work on my spoiler. But I think if that'll be good time management to go ahead while it's in the booth, while everything's taped up, to get that high build primer on there. Throw down the comments if y'all agree. Like I say, just trying to save some time and money for myself and the customer. But cool. Well, let me go ahead and get this high build mixed up after I get this thing wiped down one time. Because even though it's a paint booth, mysteriously, little bugs and little critters and little pieces of trash do sneak in here. It happens. So yeah, I wipe down, and we'll shoot us some high build on her. Alright, got it taken care of, guys. She has some high build primer on her. Yeah, I almost forgot the gas cap lid. It was sitting in my little roll around cart. But yeah, I got it primed up really good. So that's 1 really good coat of sealer and 2 very thick coats of the high build primer. There's a couple spots actually have 3 coats of high build primer on it. But it laid good and flat. I know, y'all are seeing dents in there, but remember what I said about that. But the primer laid down really good. I am very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do, right now it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go eat lunch here after a while. Then after lunch we'll come out here and untape everything. And let it sit in the booth for the weekend. Today's Saturday. Then Monday we'll get it over there in the bay, one of the bays. Pop that hatch on her and go ahead and see what we can do with this spoiler. Yeah, it's going to need a lot of sanding out once it gets on there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the quote gel coat, which doesn't look like a gel coat to me, that they put on this fiberglass stuff now. But man, I throwed the sealer to it, and I mean, it just blotched up. And I mean, I sanded it. I clean everything real good. When you can tell how good I clean surfaces before I do anything to them. And that was no exception. It's just something about this new fiberglass stuff just doesn't like anything. But we'll get these on there and get them molded in, and then we'll get into sanding. But you see what I mean? How wrinkly and rough that looks? Yeah. But we can get them sanded out, and we can get them nice, so no stress with that. Alright guys, well I'm going to chill for a little bit and then run out and get a bite of lunch at the house. I don't run out to eat lunch, I'm not rich. But yeah, I think all of that's looking pretty good. Alright, this thing's had time to sit in the paint booth over the weekend, so everything's cured up. So what I've done, Hootie Hoo came, helped me push it over. I went ahead and put the hatch back on and tightened it up, got it spaced properly, then tightened it up, and then rechecked it. So what I'm doing now is got a couple screws here to hold these. We're just going to hold them basically into place roughly where they go. And just draws a line. This way we'll know where we're going to be sanding everything off to. So we can get down to the brass tacks of it and get some fiberglassing done on this bad boy. Alright, let me go ahead and pull them off of there, and then we'll take all that primer and stuff off and start getting ready for our fiberglass so we can get these molded in and looking cool. And we got all that sanded down just fine, scratched up really good where that fiberglass will bite and hold. Now we're just going to get us some mix going, and I'll show you how I put these on now. Well, that has it for the first coat of fiberglass. That'll be my get it to stick to it coat. And yeah, it works out fine. You notice why I put it down on the panel, and then I put some up on the spoiler to try to get it up in there the best I could. I want, you know, just the best hold there is. I'm really thinking once this fiberglass work is done, that spoiler ain't gonna go nowhere. I can take screws out and just fill the holes and sand it off and have a much smoother look than, I mean, even if I use some pretty Phillips head screws or something like that. Still gonna have that look of screws, but we'll see how it turns out. But right now, off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing and get my little side fiberglasses on, and then I'll let that cure overnight. We'll come back out in the morning and give her a little sand with some 80, and then put another coat of fiberglass on there. Oh, good morning, everyone. It is another day. Day's the 5th, Tuesday. Yesterday was my birthday. I want to throw big thanks out to everybody who sent me happy birthday. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, 58. Getting up there, but don't worry. Plenty of years left in it. What I come into this morning was raining like catching dogs outside. It was rain all week. What a drought. But we should have no issue getting this body work done. So let me show you what happened overnight, the way this stuff cured, and how well it done. As you can tell, I've already took all the screws out. But yeah, this stuff set up just like I wanted it to. Yeah, a lot of sanding. I mean, that's just part of the job. And we're going to fill all of these right here as well. I got out the DA with some 80 on it. That's what I'm going to start with. But as far as holding, I mean, it ain't going nowhere. Yeah, that's solid as a rock. And that's what we wanted. Here's the deal, guys. I'm just going to come in here. Well, you see, these are pretty tall spoilers, and it's a pretty big space. So we're going to have to probably come back to like around here with some glass and just smooth everything up into it, making it look like it's factory. Of course, we'll do the same here and all around the edges. Here's where the pain comes in at. Yes, look at that gap. This is straight. This is not. I didn't make this piece, so don't holler at me, okay? What I'm gonna have to do is come in here and add fiberglass and build this side up and get it to where it matches this here. Now this side, yeah, that ain't looking too bad, is it? That gap's acceptable. A little bit towards the front, we need to build up. I know. It's not $1 million show car, but I will get them gaps a lot closer than what they are now. But yeah, that's all I'm fixing to do. I'm going to just crank up the DA with that 80 and go around here and do some cleanup work. And I get all the spots where the screws were, and then lay another coat of fiberglass. Well, I got all the sanding done. I mean, I sanded it rough too. I actually used a 36 grit on a spinner sander. But that should have us really ready for the second coat, and using that really rough grit sandpaper is going to let this fiberglass really bite into this. That's what we're after. We're after something that's going to not only look good when we finish, going to look good years down the road. Alright guys, well I'm going to go ahead and mix me up some glass and get it on there and let it cure. Yeah, not bad. Alright, fiberglass is on. Hopefully I got enough on there. Not really sure, but I'd rather do several coats than one big coat. That way it cures properly in between coats, and you seem to have less trouble in my opinion. But I think this coat will do it, but the only thing I'm worried about is that down through there. We'll see how it blends in and how it matches the sides once we blend them in. May have put a little bit there, but that's getting it there. So now I am going to take a break, and then I'll come back out here whenever this stuff cures. Let's say old damp rainy day, so we'll see. And once it cures, we'll get it sanded down, see what we got to work with. Well now, I believe I've got everything taken care of on this car. As you can see, I've got that spoiler in there. Yeah, they turned out really nice. Got all the high build primer sanded down. And yeah, don't be complaining about some of these little spots and stuff. Like I done said a million times, this is just a budget job. Don't worry about all the little dents. Everything's been washed and wiped down, and I'm fixing to wipe everything down again. As you can see, I do have it in the paint booth. It's all looking pretty good. my other spoiler pieces. Got them molded right in there. Guys, I just had to take my time. Just take a bunch of filler, like when I find one of them little pinholes, just put that filler in there, let it dry, lightly sand it, just keep on until I get all the pinholes filled up. Yeah, a bit of a drag, but hey, it worked. But yeah, I think she's about ready to go. What I'm fixing to do this morning, this is a Friday morning, is like I say, wipe her down again. Then I want to mix up some black sealer and thin it out by 10%. And I'm going to use I'm going to use my purple gum with the 1.4 tip and try to get a real smooth coat or two, probably 2 coats of sealer on this thing. And I think after that we'll check it out, see how smooth it laid. If the sealer lays really smooth and looks good, then we're going to go ahead and mix us up some paint and get this thing shot. But yeah, that's where we're at. It has been a long road. I mean, for y'all, it's just been a millisecond between one video shot and the other. But for me, this has been another couple of weeks. Been feeling a little rough, health down a little bit. I don't know, whatever virus is going around, you know how that's going here lately. But I have been out here working on it when I can. But yeah, let's get our pieces all wiped down and get everything taped up, and we'll shoot a couple coats of sealer to see how that looks. Well, that didn't go 100% as planned. 2 mistakes were made here, guys, and I don't mind admitting to it. For one, I chose the wrong gun. Purple gun started spitting and sputtering every once in a while, which really messed things up. I'm going to stick with this silver gun right here for my primer and sealers. It runs really smooth and I didn't have no trouble. I don't know why I picked that gun, just brain damage, I reckon. And when it did spit and sputter, I tried to go back to get some coverage, and yes, I got some runs. Yeah, there's a run there. Actually, the hood looks really, really good. Yeah, no complaints on that. The rest of the car looks pretty good, I think. There might be just really small wrinkle runs right across here. Yeah, just way too heavy-handed. Yeah, right back there too, I can see it. Ah, that gun. Yeah, that thing will end up in the garbage. My roof turned out good. Little bitty piece of trash, and that's fine. Alright, well, change of plans. Yeah, all of that turned out well. This thing's going to sit here over the weekend and cure up really good. And I'll pull it back over Monday to the first lift. And send it all down with 600 and get the runs out. Then that should be ready for paint. I still got a little bit of sealer, and I have a touch-up gun in case I do sand through in any place. But yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you run into, guys. And like I say, this right here, this was on me. So, yeah, I'll take Monday and get all of that fixed and everything, so we don't have no issues when we do lay our paint. Well, that turned out really well down through there on the cowl. Yeah, not mad about that. But I'll take care of them, and I'll take care of them off the clock. I will not be charging the gentleman for my mistakes. That's just wrong. But you make a mistake, take care of it, fellas. And don't charge your customer and try to give them a bunch of excuses. Because things happen, and you roll with it, you deal with it, man up, and take care of it. Which is what I'm going to do. But all in all, I mean, except for a few runs, you know, it didn't turn out bad with that crappy gun. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We'll let her sit here and chill. And then Monday, we'll sand her with 600. And finally, maybe, we'll get this thing ready to shoot some color on it. Alright, Monday morning. Go in there and check this thing out. If the camera will focus. Oh man, that feels good. Tell you what, even using that crappy gun that was giving me a hard way to go, that sealer laid down nice. If it wasn't for the couple little run spots, and just a couple little pieces of trash like right in there, this could have been tack ragged and painted. Yeah, sealer turned out good. But is what it is. Like I say, we'll get it over on the first bay later. You just run over the whole car with some 600 wet, and that will really smooth everything out. But we're not doing that right now. Let's walk. Alright, we're going to deal with a couple other parts this morning. Customer came by Saturday and brought front valance and fenders. Yeah, he was supposed to get two new fiberglass fenders, which they sent him two, and one of them was cracked. He said to the point where, you know, you just didn't want to deal with it or fix it, and he didn't want to send it back and wait for another one. I mean, I think it took, Lordy, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks just to get these two. And I agree with him, made no sense of waiting that long, because he had this original fender here, and I can take our drum surface conditioning tool and get this one stripped down. This fender did not have rust in it and looked pretty good. Couple little dings and dents. He said fix this big dent here. The rest of it, of course, don't worry about. And he got the front valance when he brought me all the stuff, and he found it. I mean, this is a part that once the car is put together, you'll hardly see much of it. But still, I'm going to get it stripped, get it primed and sanded, and get it ready for paint. But that's my goal this morning, is to work on these. And also, these drums, I think y'all may remember I was telling you they're like $30 a piece for what I call the stripping drum. So I went on eBay and I found a 4-pack of these, a sorted 4-pack for $30 for all 4. So I know just about how long one of these lasts when I buy it in the Bauer brand, but I want to see how these eBays do. I may be saving myself some money. I mean, don't know until we try it. I've used that one a little bit. It seems to do well, but we're going to do these fenders and front valance and just see if it goes away quick, or how well it does, or how hard it you know, works me to get them done. But all right, enough yapping. Let me get my butt to work and get these two stripped down. And like I say, the fiberglass, I'll just hand sand all of this. Don't want to take the DA to it and get a gouge or something. It's not looking too terrible. Ooh, that's a funky spot. Yeah, that is a funky spot. Probably have to mix up a little bit of filler on that. But once I get it all sanded down, we'll be able to see it a lot better. If that's the only bad spot on it, then we're good to go. Alright, got that fender all stripped down. And guys, y'all seen this fender before. I started, and it looked fine, no rust, right? This is why I like to strip things down to metal. You can see I've done put the rust treatment on it. Rust. Yeah. So I started Bondo work on it. Had like a dinghy there, decent dent there. Just a little ripply going on there. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. A little dent there. But, rust. Once you get this thing sanded down, you can see all these little rust pits, just like it was in the body that we fixed. I don't know how well y'all can see this. I just sprayed the whole thing. But there was a bunch of them all the way down through the top. So, yeah, in my opinion, anytime you're doing stuff, strip it on down to the metal where you can see what you're working with. Now, if I would have just, you know, rough sanded that, laid a bunch of primer on it, and painted it, there's a really good chance, well, it would have eventually, that rust would have bled through and caused the paint to pop and things like that. But yeah, take your time and just do it right. Even on a, quote, budget. Yeah, we know this ain't a budget paint job, but that's what we're calling it. Even on something like this, guys, slow down, take your time, and get it right. Alright, well, I'm going to let all that stuff take a good cooking, as well as I went ahead and read that bad spot there, and I found a crack up in here. It wasn't all the way through, but it was enough that I want to get some filler on it so I get it sanded out and smooth. I'm going to set that to the side. I'll grab the valance over there and go ahead and get it all sanded. But yeah, she's getting there. Alright, well, this fender's coming along just fine and dandy. I got some icing on there. That all sanded out really well. It's had a couple of pinholes, like a little stripy thing going on here. Could have been the sandpaper dug in or something. But a little icing is just good to do. I mean, I like it, and it'll cover up in small spots. Now, my next complaint, fiberglass. I do not understand these fiberglass companies. They got a mold. Why can't they do a better job? I mean, you see all the roughness around the edges and everything that I got to sand and clean up. But this coating, see the shiny part? It's like, I don't know, like a super thin layer of plastic maybe? I'm using a piece of 150 on the DA and just hitting it real fast. But nothing's going to stick to that. Your primer, your sealer, paint, nothing's going to really stick to that. You got to get that crap off of there. And if it does, it's going to look terrible. Hopefully this will sand out. But I'm running through here sanding it, and we're going to have to go through and cut all the holes. This is where the little parking light lens goes. But there's no holes cut or drilled in this thing. And when I run around, I've got these like bad gouge marks. There's some in here, and just look at the wheel well. Yeah, I've done run a sander over it. That is very deep right there. Y'all can see how deep the crevices are in that wheel well part, and they just plain out didn't even put anything here. Yeah, so we're gonna have to mix this up. A little bit of fiberglass and really work on this fender to get it to look, you know, worth a crap. A lot of work's going to have to go into this to make it look good. I mean, even the finish down here is just, I mean, it's just terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this fender costs the gentleman. That's his business. But I know what I paid for some fiberglass parts back in the day. And back in the day, they were a lot better than this. They seem to be made better. They had a real thick gel coat on them that you could just scuff up and hit them with some sealer, primer, block it, paint it, and it was good to go. But I don't know what this crap is they put on there nowadays. Like I say, it's thin, sort of like a piece of tape or something. And no, that's not tape. That's actually some kind of coating. Yeah, really strange. Alright, well, enough complaining. But I just wanted to show y'all guys that, because if you do fiberglass replacement parts, which there's nothing wrong with it, I mean, for the most part, they're lighter weight, and sometimes that's all you can get. You can't get the metal part. Just look over your fiberglass pieces real good, and be prepared to take some time to get them all fixed up and looking right and do some minor repairs. Alright, well, enough yapping. I'm going to get back to sanding. Alright, now I want to show y'all why I took that time to sand this fiberglass fender down with the 150. For one, that little crack. No, it is a crack. See? Yeah. So what we're going to do is get this fiberglass in there, and I have this piece of wire set up, and we're going to hold that together until it dries. Now the rest of it, inclusions. Now I want you to look at this lip and all the holes. Yeah, some rough spots there. Just really really poor craftsmanship. This corner is broke, so we're going to glass it in and lightly sand it down. And just basically, guys, the whole fender has things all over it. Flip her over here so we'll get them bad marks there. Oh, I did get my thing drilled from my parking light. Just made me a thing there and got it all cut out. Well, like I say, that crack, a bunch. This thing's gonna be full of pinholes, I guarantee it. And like I say, we've got to get this lip looking better too, especially a spot there. That looks terrible. But yeah, let's I'm gonna mix this up a little bit of the Duraglass and fill a bunch of the small spots and get that lip and use the Duraglass here. And as far as on top, it was hard for y'all to see with the camera. There's a bunch of like deep scratches in it. Like somebody's cat just went off on it. But they're to the point where I don't trust my high build filler to fill them. So after we get all this fiberglass work done, we're going to grab some of the icing and run across that top. Because I mean, man, that's on the top. That's what you really, the hood and, you know, the tops of the fenders are the first things you see. But it's full of scratches, like if y'all can make out this one here, that's what the top is. And we can fill that one with icing too. But yeah, going to be a lot of work on this fiberglass fender just to get it where it looks decent. But yeah, it is what it is. Just wanted to show y'all. All right, I'm gonna mix me up some glass and get to it. Well, guys, I've been nitpicking this thing to death, and I think I'm there. I come back with a little bit of sealer, thinned out and touched up some spots. But I think she's ready to paint. It's been sanded down with 600. And yeah, I think she's about ready to rock and roll. Not looking bad at all. I think it will take paint, turn out pretty slick. Got the hood over here, a couple spots on it. Got it washed up. This fender, this is our fiberglass fender. And it turned out pretty good. Considering, you know, we had a couple of breaks in it, we repaired them. No, that's our metal fender. What am I talking about, fiberglass? Well, considering we had to do Bondo work on the metal fender, you can't tell where I even done it. And that's what you want to see. I think that's ready to go. A little more cleaning and washing, of course, our valance. There's our fiberglass fender. Yeah, we got it. We got our repair done well. And all that looks good. I run across the hatch again. Had a couple little light spots on there I wanted to hit. We took care of that, but I think it's ready to go. Well, guys, if all goes well, I mean, I still got to do another wash on the car and all the parts. And I got to wash out the paint booth and get it spotless. All that I just mentioned is very time consuming, which I'm hoping to get a lot of the washing stuff done tomorrow. Weather's looking pretty starting next week. So maybe we can get this thing in the booth on Monday is my goal, but then again, a couple of Mondays ago was my goal. But I just wanted to, you know, nitpick and go through and get it right. It just takes time. But yeah, let's shoot for Monday, and maybe we'll be shooting some paint on this bad boy. Ready? Alright guys, as you can see, Louis got that base laid on there. By God, it's green, ain't it? Yeah, I think that's going to be really pretty when it gets a clear on it. Yeah, going to look sharp. This is my buddy Louis. Everybody say hi. He come out to help me today. He said he painted a car or two through the years, so I think he can take care of this. He's doing paint while I'm doing A-frames. Well, yay, yay. But he's done got the clear mixed up, got the gun ready to go. That's that finish line to Velvet's, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool looking gun. Yeah.
Good to go.
But I'm going to get a little video of him while he shoots some of this clear. Then I'll get y'all a real good walk around once it's all done. No pressure. Maybe 1,000,000 people watching you, so. Oh, that's got a good shine to it, yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Alright guys, this is I believe the last coat of clear that he's going to put on. But as you can see, this thing is really, really shining. Yeah, that's looking nice. What you can't see is how pretty that paint is and how much pearl it has in it. But after everything's said and done, like I say, we'll get it all put together, get it outside in the sunlight, then it'll really tell on itself. But yeah, I gotta say, I like how this young man paints. You can tell he knows what he's doing. Look at that, 50% overlap. I don't see a bad stripe or anything as he's going there. Yep, may have found me a good painter, guys. But yeah, cool. Well, I'm going to let him finish his work. It's getting late in the day, and I'm ready to go in myself. And then we'll come back out here. Today's Saturday. We'll come back out here Monday morning and get some video of it after it's all set and dry. Alright guys, Monday morning. Check this out. Yeah, I think it's turned out pretty good. That was the hatch. There's a front fender right there. Yeah, you see reflection really, really well in that. Balance. Here's just the front fender. Yeah, this little car's looking really sharp. Like I say, I can't wait to get it out in the sun. You really can't see the pearl in here, but you can see that reflection, that's for sure. Yeah, I think the gentleman's going to be very, very happy with this. I know I'm happy with the way it looks and all the work that I put into it. Like I say, would have been better if he would have had me do all the body work and get it perfect, but I understand what he's saying. It's just going to be a daily driver. So, man, that is just smooth and slick. Get that hood to stay open there. Had to stick at the perfect place right there where the tape is. We're good like that. Got good under hood coverage as well. Yep. Well, one thing about it, she is green. Well, cool, guys. Well, I'm going to let this thing sit here probably another day and just cure. It's supposed to be real nice out today in the 80s. I'm open door and let some nice warm air and some sunshine come in here. Then we'll probably get it out tomorrow and get everything assembled and get it out in the sun and get a really good look at it. Well, here she is all together. Yeah, That's a good looking little car, guys. It really, really is. Yeah, no, it's sitting up a little high. I'm waiting on the people. Hey, that don't match. It will when he puts the latch and everything in. I got an old reliable pool noodle right there, keeping everything from hitting and scratching the paint. But yeah, this thing turned out really, really good. It wasn't that hard to assemble, except for this fiberglass fender. Man, had to work the living crap out of this thing, take it on and off several times, trim, grind, I mean, you name it. We had to do it to get the thing fit. I had my buddy Jimmy come down and help me. And that's what you hear right now. He's out there sanding. But yeah, man, that fiberglass fender did not fit worth a crap. But we got it as good as it will fit without the door hitting it. So that is what it is. But y'all, looks good. Yeah, I know that fender gap up there. Nothing I can do about it, guys. That's as far as that fender will go in. I mean, the other side, you know, hood and all, yeah, looks good. Gap going across, looks good. This fender gap's good. Of course, I done gapped all the doors. Of course, the hatch is good. But yeah, I'm really, really tickled with the way this thing turned out. I've got a couple little bitty places over here that I'm touching up. Not the fault of my painter. I thought the door was clear and opened up the door, and it put a little chip there in the corner because it was just barely hitting that fender. But I'll get that, no problem. Now, all we like really, need to get in here probably tomorrow, I hope, and give this thing a bath, get her wiped down with the final inspection, and she'll be ready to rock and roll. 77 Toyota Celica GT, 2020 Camaro Green Flash. Yeah, I can't wait for the sun to come back out. We got rain all this week. I want to get this thing outside and let y'all see it. Pretty cool little car. Here we go, guys. Finally got a day with the sun out that we can see this thing. And I want y'all to see the pearl in this pretty green. I mean, oh, this thing's going to be sharp once he gets all the, everything going on it is black, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this black and green is just really going to jump. So y'all can see that sparkle and shine there. Awesome, totally awesome. Yeah, it looks like that spoiler's part of the quarter panel.
Yeah, it came out real good, real flush.
I'm tickled with it. Yeah, cool, cool. This is a cool little car, no doubt. And there you have it, guys. That was a pretty long video. I appreciate you watching. There was a lot of work done to that little Toyota, and it was all worth it. The customer's real happy with the job. As a matter of fact, he's bringing us something else. Be on the lookout for that in the next couple of weeks. Cool little car that he's bringing for us to do next. But as far as the Celica goes, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out and the fact that he's very happy with it. Like I say, you know, it's just going to be a daily driver. He's going to run around here and there with it, just use it to save some gas and have a little bit of fun. And that's all cool. Well, again, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you would, throw us down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on Patreon. And please like, share, and subscribe. Again, appreciate it much. Till the next one, we hope that everyone has a fantastic day.